Hey guys, it's Dr. Pauly, and today we're going to go ahead and do the worm gear. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and set my length to 3 units. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch on the front plane. So I'm going to say extrude base, front plane. We're going to create 2 circles based on the origin as the center. And we'll go ahead and dimension the outside one first. That has a 2.250. Diameter. The inside one is a 0.625 diameter as well. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to extrude these. Okay, so we're going to say finish sketch. Now this time we're not going to use a blind. We're going to use the mid plane, and the distance we want to extrude them is 1 inch. So that puts a ½ inch on both ways. And so we'll go ahead and finish that. Now the next part we're going to do is a revolve cut, and that's to get that groove in the object. And so in order to do that, I'm going to have to go ahead and I'm just going to call this the base. All right. We're going to go ahead and use Revolve Cut, and I'm going to pick the right plane, such as that. The first thing I want to do is give myself a center line or something to reference for my revolution. And then I'm going to take a circle and I'm going to snap it to the top center. And I'm just going to draw a circle and I'm going to add a diameter to it, and it's also going to be a 0.625. All right, now what I need to do is center it. So I should have snapped to the midpoint, which should be fine. I'll snap to that and make sure that it's vertical, so I know for a fact that it is lined up with the center. All right, we're finished with that. We're going to go ahead and complete our sketch. And if you look, it automatically follows my axis and goes all the way around. So we're good there. So cut. All right. So right there, we got this little spool looking thing. The next step we want to do is we're going to create another sketch on the right plane, and we're going to do what's called a revolve cut. All right, another revolve cut, but we're going to cut out the sides here and here. Okay. Best way to do that, you can change the display style and simply change it to hidden lines visible if you want to. There's other ways to do it. This will open back up. Thank you. So that lets us see the inside a little bit better. So we're going to do a revolve cut again on the right plane. There we are. Again, center line, come out horizontally. Good. Take a standard line tool, and I'm going to sketch this shape that they want me to sketch. Now here we're going to play with what's called diametric dimensioning, and that means it basically cuts across the center line and gives you the diameter dimension. It's not too terribly hard to do here if you start off correctly. You don't have to go about it the way he does, but you can. The way he does it, he says to go ahead and create. Let me get my dimensions here. He said, sometimes they say go ahead and create from here, dimension, from here to here, and if you have a dimension like that, then you can convert it to a diametric, if you want to, etc. There's really no point in that. In fact, he also shows you that you can simply go dimension, pick the line, pick the center, go past that center, and there is your diametric dimension. So that's 1 inch diameter, and then I can go from this point, and if you notice, it'll automatically pick up that I've been doing that. So there's 2 inches right there, and that's everything we need right there. The next thing is we're going to mirror it. So I want to go ahead and take a center line and give myself a vertical line to reflect that off of. I'm going to say mirror entities to mirror. I'm just going to pick these 4 lines like that. To mirror about, going to flip it over here, and we're good. So there we go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and all right, sorry about that. So we're going to take these, we're going to finish our sketch, and it asked me for my axis of revolution. So I'll go ahead and select that, and then it's looking for selected contours. I want this shape and this shape, and there we go. And now if I switch it back to our standard shaded, give it a little bit more life there. There we go. And so there's that. The next thing we're going to do is a chamfer. It's a 0.1 by 45 degree, and it's going to take off of both ends here. So in order to do that, you go under fillet and find the chamfer option. We're going to go ahead and plug in the 0.1, by 45 degrees. Items to chamfer, just pick this edge here and that edge there, okay? And because it's 45 degrees, it really doesn't matter if you have to reverse it or not, because it's not going to work. See, if I flip direction, it'll be the same, okay? So there we go, we're good. Finish that chamfer, and there's that part of the spool, this worm gear. All right, then he goes over and he talks about different chamfers and how they work. Pay attention to that. I'm scrolling through here. Now the next thing I need to do is add a 0.625 0625 fillet to the four inside edges. Those are this edge and this edge right here. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and say fillet. Go ahead and use your constant size fillet, 0.0625. Hit enter once, and I'm going to pick this face, and I'll switch around here and I'll pick that face, and I'll say OK. And so there's our 0625. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a keyway. Now technically we probably should have made this keyway when we drew it the first time, but oh well. So I'll go ahead and square that up with Control 1. We're going to create a sketch on this surface, and it's going to be an extruded cut. So extrude cut this surface, and I'm going to take a corner-to-corner rectangle, and I'm going to draw it like that. Now I want to center it, so I'm going to pick a midpoint, that one, and I'll line it up vertically with the center. We're going to go ahead and add our dimensions as well. It's 0.188, so dimension, the width of it is 0.188, enter. And the part that matters the most is we need to change this distance right here. So we're going to do this line, hold shift and click the circle, and that allows us to pick the top of the circle if we hold shift, and that value needs to be 0.094, so 0.094, enter, and that's got that keyway set. Now I don't necessarily have to bring this down like he did. As long as it's large enough to cut through that, we should be fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it around this way a little bit, and I'm going to say I want to go ahead and finish my sketch. Move it around. You'll notice it has a blind option here, and I'm going to go up to surface, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this side here. I could easily just say through all if I wanted to. Same difference. So there's that keyway cut right there. Change your material, edit material, ANSI 1020, apply that, and we're good. And that is your worm gear.